To most people, this is just a brick. But for Alton Carter and the many touched by his story, this brick is a key character in a story of struggle, survival, and hope. From an early age, Alton grew up in a household filled with hardship and abuse. Alton and his siblings often went hungry. They lived in poor living conditions and suffered beatings and abuse from their mother.
My mom battled depression, and she got upset one night and set us down on the couch, pulled out a pistol and told us, stuck it in our face, told us she was going to shoot us and then kill herself.
At the age of 8, Alton and his siblings were removed from their mother by DHS and were sent to live with their grandparents. At his grandparents', little changed. Alton continued to experience abuse. He lived in a 3-bedroom house with 9 other people, one of which was his alcoholic uncle, Stevie.
So after being out till 2 o'clock in the morning, my Uncle Stevie would set us down on the couch and make us drink his whiskey. And so anyway, one night, my Uncle Stevie took us out, had us stealing things, and then brought us back in and set us down on the couch. And I decided that I'd had enough. And so I said, I'm not drinking this whiskey. And so my Uncle Stevie picked me up above his head, threw me down some stairs, came down and broke my ribs. And I called the cops on my Uncle Stevie, and the police came and took him to jail. And after he was gone out of sight, I went back to go in the house, and my family had gathered on the front porch, and they cussed me out and told me what a terrible person I was for getting my Uncle Stevie thrown in jail.
That night, Alton slept in the park. Alton then went to live at the Oklahoma Lions Boys Ranch, where he was forced to run and carry bricks as punishment.
Our ranch dad was extremely abusive. He was racist. If you got a D in school, you ran 2 miles 3 days a week. If you got an F in school, you ran 5 days a week. If you got in trouble, he made you carry bricks for 2 hours.
After leaving the boys' ranch, Alton moved through 17 different foster homes.
So many people really poured into my lives that I wasn't aware until later on. And so I graduated from high school, 1988, being the first person in the history of my family to graduate from high school.
Eventually, he made it to Stillwater, where he met his wife. Together, they have 5 children. Alton has authored 4 books on the different stages of his life and has been the youth director at the First United Methodist Church in Stillwater for the last 11 years.
I mean, anytime you step foot in here, you can always hear them.
Alton travels all over the country, sharing his amazing story of survival with kids and young adults, many of which share heartbreaking stories similar to Alton's.
Some of these are hard to read, aren't they, Janelda?
Tucked away under his desk is a cardboard box, overflowing with hundreds of letters from people all over the country, touched by Alton and his story of hope.
I just wrote it in a way that was transparent, that people could see my pain, my insecurities, and maybe if they could connect with me and think, well, if Alton can do it, so can I.
I think it's like important just to know like that somebody else has been through that. Like a lot of times when you're going through something sucks, you feel like you're the only person going through it, so you can't ask nobody for help.
To some, this is just a brick. But for those who've heard Alton's story, it's a symbol of hope and a reminder that you're not alone.